Hey! Hi there. Welcome to this second edition of Business Ambassadors. This is a new program that we've got on Hamilton County Television, and it's a kind of a new concept. And we'll be talking about that more a little bit later on. Cheryl Mathis will be along in just a few minutes with her guest. But my guest today is Aili McGill, who you see on programs on Hamilton County TV from time to time with the Nickel Plate Arts. And they've got a big event coming up this Friday that we wanted to tell you about, and maybe get in a little bit more about how businesses can get involved with the arts in the community as well. But first, talk about the let's talk about this speakeasy. Aili,
Yes.
what you got going?
So we have an annual sort of anniversary fundraiser. For the last 2 years, it was called Block Party, and it was on our campus, and we got rained out both times. So this year, we decided...
got bad karma going there.
Right, so we've decided to defy the weather, and of course, the forecast for this Saturday is beautiful now.
Yeah.
But we're going to go to the R.L. Wilson House and host a speakeasy. So we're going to have a little Roaring Twenties flair. We're looking for flappers and floor flushers and swells of all kinds to come out and party with us. So the R.L. Wilson House is at 273 South 8th, so it's just down the street from our campus. And we'll have live music, we'll have jazz and an a cappella choir, we'll have croquet for everybody to play, we'll have other fun card games and things like that. And Mr. G's Liquors and Barley Island will be sponsoring us, and we'll be providing beer and wine for the event.
Wow.
The R.L. Wilson House is starting a new catering line.
Yeah.
So there'll be more than just Heavenly Sweets.
Really?
And so this is their chance to kind of show off their new selections as well.
So they're doing the catering there, and
Yes.
it's going to be like hors d'oeuvres and that sort of thing?
Yeah, it'll be a light dinner. So they're going to do
light dinner?
a mashtini bar, which is kind of speakeasy-ish. So you can create...
Mashtini?
Yeah, so you can... It's not like corn mash like whiskey. It's mashed potatoes. So yeah, it's like kind of like a baked potato in a martini glass. It sounds really fun.
It does sound fun. Okay.
And she'll have other, I believe there's like a chicken salad and a pork tenderloin slider on the menu as well.
Great.
And they'll of course have sweets because they're so good at that too.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Regular
Friday,
tickets
right?
for that, or it's Saturday from
it's Saturday.
6 to 9.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. If they show up on Friday, usually it's fine. So it's from 6 to 9, and regular tickets are $50. You can put on the Ritz. You can get a Ritz level ticket for $70, and that'll include a special artsy gift from one of our artists. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So
Should people dress up? I mean, how does that work?
Costumes are encouraged, but not required.
Okay.
For any of us who might be costume challenged, we will have a few key pieces for both men and women to get in the flapper spirit when they show up. So we'll have bow ties and headbands for everybody.
I see.
But you know, if you want to dress like some other era of your choice, that's welcome as well.
So you can dress any way you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Our whole goal.
It's not really black tie. I mean,
No.
that's not what you're going for.
No,
Okay.
several of us are going to be very fancy for the evening. I have quite a costume in the works right now.
All right.
But our main goal, you know, we want to prove that the arts are accessible and comfortable as well as fun and cool and exclusive. So we want people to just come and be comfortable and hang out with us. This is our chance to recognize our sponsors and our donors for the year. And so it's really a celebration for them as well. And so we just want as many people as possible to join in with us.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited because, you know, we have lots of strings to pull. I have lots of connections, especially in the history world. And so I have it on good authority that Gloria Swanson will be there.
Wow.
The infamous Dirty Helen is also promising to arrive.
Who has a local beer named after her.
Exactly, we'll be drinking her beer.
She was a local matron of some sort, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the official phrase that she called herself was a woman of pleasure.
Of pleasure.
On lots of levels. She ran a bar up in Wisconsin, but she grew up here, and she's actually buried in Noblesville, although she's making a comeback for our speakeasy.
So she doesn't have to come far.
Right, exactly. Just from Riverside Cemetery.
All right.
But and we're still waiting on Norman Norell's confirmation too. He was also
Oh my goodness.
local guy.
Wow. So we'll have all sorts of celebrities there.
Exactly.
Dead and alive.
Yes.
Great. And so can people just show up? It's from 6 to 9 on Saturday. Can they just show up?
Yes.
Or do you have to buy tickets in advance?
We would like them to buy tickets in advance because, of course, you have to have a password to get into the speakeasy.
Oh, of course.
But we will be able to give those passwords to those folks who know their onions. We don't want any squares at this event. There are police raids in the area, so we have to make sure that...
We're going to need a glossary to get all the lingo down.
I know, yeah. And that's the other thing. If you buy a ticket in advance, we have a little cheat sheet for people who want to play along.
So we want to know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
All right. Well, just quickly, and tell me a little bit about you mentioned that you really have lots of opportunities for businesses to get involved with Nickle Plate. So I want to hear a little bit more about that.
Well, we believe strongly that for local businesses to thrive, we need a creative community to be in. We need a place where people want to hang out so that they want to live, work, and play here. And we want to make sure that we have a workforce that can think creatively and can be good problem solvers. And we think the arts are a critical component of that. And so we are looking for area businesses that kind of believe in that same cause. Even if your business has nothing to do with the arts directly, maybe you want to support that idea. And so we are always looking for corporate sponsors. Sure. And our corporate sponsors get to be in our arts guide that we publish quarterly, which is this beautiful magazine. I couldn't bring one because we've given them all away. Our last quarter's printing. Our next one is due out this week. But that includes all the stories of what arts events are coming up, as well as stories of local artists and their work, as well as stories about our sponsors, why they care about the arts, what makes them cool and unique for this area. So people who kind of want to join that cause and be part of this community with us, we've got these great corporate sponsorship levels. You also, at certain levels, you get art to hang in your office as well. Yeah, so you can get great pieces of local art from us.
Yeah.
But then businesses that do have a direct stake in the arts, like places that sell art supplies or music or things like that, we have partnership levels that they can come in with us. And we can even do trades for those partnership values so that we can help promote them during our events. We can send people to them. And we can just really combine our efforts and give them good advertising, as well as, make sure all the artists in our network know about them. So we're trying to be this hub that connects everybody, and we've got great opportunities for businesses to do that.
There's little doubt that the arts are great for a community, and certainly good for business as well. It really attracts people, and I know we're trying to become more and more of a tourist destination, and that's a big component of that as well.
And millennials who are entering the workforce now and are really an important part of the modern workforce really want cool, funky things happening all the time. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that there's an environment that supports that.
Hey, boomers like cool and funky
It's
too.
true. It's absolutely true. In fact, millennials and boomers have all kinds of things in common.
That's
so
right.
we all want to hang out together.
Well, good. Well, the latest is then the speakeasy that's going on this Saturday. Again, it's Saturday down at the R.L. Wilson House here in Noblesville on 8th Street. And good luck with that, and really appreciate you coming in.
Thank you. I want to give one more plug very quickly, which is that we are doing our Comic Book in a Day event the first weekend in October. So we've got 2 weekends back-to-back that are really busy here at Nickle Plate Arts. But if you want to meet local, very prominent comic book artists, we have 3 folks who are working nationally in the industry who will be there as feature artists. Great. And then we're going to have at least 10 other local artists who are going to participate in our challenge.
Really?
So yeah, if you love comic books, if you're curious about how they're made, if you just want to dress up like a superhero, all of those things are welcome on October 3rd.
So you don't have to have artistic talent?
No.
You don't?
No.
Well, okay, that's good to know. Because in that case, I might go.
Yeah. We have 10 artists who are going to participate in this challenge, but everybody else is welcome to just come and hang out with us, and we're going to have lots of fun activities that require no artistic skill.
I'm sure it will. It's always fun hanging out with you. Now, this is an anniversary celebration. Which anniversary is it? How long?
Third. This is our 3rd year.
Huh?
Yeah. So what we've been able to accomplish in these 3 years is amazing, and that's why we're looking for supporters to join the cause.
Good. Thanks for coming in, Aili.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Cheryl will be back with her guest in just a moment. Stay with us.
When Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street signs and banners. conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Everyone knows it's easy to find first-run movies in the big theaters. But where can you go to watch your favorite classic movies on the big screen for the perfect night out? Why rent a flick when you can rent the entire theater? Call today to reserve our 32-seat theater for your next event, or just stop by to see what's showing this weekend. The 14 by 7 foot screen and the high quality digital surround sound system offers all the amenities you would expect from the big theaters, with a laid back atmosphere and comfortable seating of your own home. Wofford Theater at 1744 South 10th Street in Noblesville gives you the classic movies you want with a big theater experience.
And we're back with Business Ambassadors. Welcome everybody to our new format, our second show of the season. So excited to be here. I am Cheryl Mathis of Successful Women Made Here, and every business wants to gain more clients, right? How do you attract them? Well, Jack Kleemeyer, who is with me here today, specializes in just that. He is the author of 2 books, a speaker, and founder of GYB Coaching, and the GYB stands for Grow Your Business. So, Jack, welcome so much.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Help share with us how do we grow our business? And I guess first way is got to get more clients, right?
More clients, do things like this. This is brilliant, and make good friends like you to be invited on things like this. Meet Jim and the whole crew here, and so yeah. So I'll share anything I can share.
So what's the first step? How do we go about saying, okay, how do I get more people through my door? Or if I'm a coach or I'm a whatever I am in business, right? You've got to have the sales. You have to have the client in order to make the sale.
Absolutely. So there's a book that was when my daughter Melissa was little. She's often married now, but Where's Waldo? We used to play Where's Waldo. Have you ever done that?
Oh yeah.
Well, the key to Where's Waldo is you know what you're looking for, right? You know Waldo, and you know what he looks like, and you know how he dresses, and you know he's somewhere in this crowd. Same way with your clients. You got to know who you're looking for. So many times people think, well, if I narrow that down to Waldo, for example, I'll miss out on Sally and Bob and Tim and everybody else. Not always true. So you should find out who it is that you're after. Who do you want to be your client? Who do you have an affinity with? Who do you mesh best with? And then start to attract that client, speak to that client. So think of just one person or one type of person, and then other people will come to you and say, well, I know you work with Waldo's, but can you help me? Right. And the answer is, if you want it to be, yes or not.
And it's kind of letting go of that fear, right? That I'm not trying to sell to everybody,
Exactly.
that it's all right to say it's going to be this particular group and narrowing down that niche. And you found that, and you have 30 years plus experience in sales and communications, and you found that usually to be the case?
It's so true. It's that it's counterintuitive, because if you think if I narrow my niche, if I narrow who I'm after, well then
there won't be enough people there.
Exactly. Exactly. The clients that I've worked with that have had the most success are those clients that have had a very specific target, very specific niche.
When you work with a lot of people, do you find that sometimes there's something that's just holding them back? And if they can just unlock that one thing that maybe is really holding them back, that could just open the floodgates?
No. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Usually it's that little voice inside their head, which right now you're saying, I don't have a voice inside my head. That's the one we're talking about. Mm-hmm. It's that little voice that tells them they're not ready, they're not able, they're not qualified, whatever the case might be. And it's, I call it BS. We have rules in the studio that we can't say the other word, but it's BS. So it really is. And when the person starts to realize how much that it is BS, things start to change for them. And we all have, from we were little, don't talk to strangers and all kinds of little programs put into us with good intention, right? From parents, teachers, other folks. But those little things then become our controlling guide, our gyroscope, I guess, if you want to say that. And sometimes that pulls us away from what we're trying to do.
So you've written 2 books.
I have, yes.
One titled Building to Excellence, a guide to building authentic success.
Correct.
And the other one, Best Practices for Networking Success, Turn Talk into Clients.
Yes.
What are a couple tidbits from each of those that you could give us?
Thanks. Building to Excellence, I wrote with Tommy Richardson. Tommy's been a mentor of mine and good friend for a number of years.
Great coach as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep.
And he, that's kind of the way he's lived his life, and just building to excellence. Don't try for perfection, try for excellence. Subtle little shift, but it makes a huge difference in what the results will be.
And so, being authentic these days too, right? I mean, really rings true with people.
Absolutely. I think that's why current facts is just in the debates. People are resonating with people who are seem to be truth tellers, right? They're cutting the BS out. So there's BS again. That's twice we've learned that. But maybe
that'll be the title of your third book.
It might be BS.
The BS.
Business success, maybe. But the main thing there is to have a goal. Have some kind of a goal. That's the main thing, and to be authentic. Those are the 2 pieces of that. And then for Turn Talking to Clients, I call it the Jack It Up series. When we wrote that book, Elaine Whitesides helped me, and in that book we have it was the first of the Jack It Up series. So far we have 1 Jack It Up series, but still. But the key to that is I just noticed over time so many small business people use networking as a way to get clients. And they suck at it.
Right, or they walk in the room and maybe you walk out with 2 business cards and they're not appropriate anyway.
Exactly. And so you don't go there with an idea. You don't go there with a goal.
Or with a plan.
You don't, right. You don't have an elevator speech or something that engages somebody. You don't have that set up. You don't have, there's just a whole host of things that people do wrong. I was at a seminar one time and a guy made the case to have a financial planner. And then he asked the audience, there's about 300 people there, how many of you don't have a financial planner? So 15 people raised their hand. And so he said, okay, put your hands down. How many of your financial planners? And about 5 guys raised their hand. He said, go give them your cards. Well, the person that I knew in there went to the seminar, had no business cards.
Yeah. I run into that a lot, right?
And it's like,
or like you said, or going without the plan. Otherwise, you're having a drink and you've really kind of wasted 2 hours of your time where you might have been more useful. So, to think of those as really walking in with a mission, but yet being authentic, as your first book talked about. So it's not just like, hurry, take my card.
No.
I'm going to do business with you. So there's a method to all that. So that's great. Yes. So you can learn that in either one of your books.
Either one, absolutely.
So you're a certified mastered practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming.
Yes.
And you're also recently, congratulations, to a certified John Maxwell coach. So those are both very exciting things. So first of all, tell us what the NLP, what does that even mean? And then secondly, what it means now to be alongside with John Maxwell.
Yeah. So NLP, I started studying that back in the, long time ago, when I was working for a company that the people that I was responsible for were independent contractors. And so I didn't have influence by title. I didn't have influence. They'd been in business longer than I had. I had no influence that I thought of at the time over those folks. So to get them to move from where they are to where they wanted to be, it was a challenge. So what NLP does is it helps you understand that the resources you already have. We all have the resources we need. It also is where I learned about that little voice inside our head that in all honesty thinks it's doing the right thing, but it's outworn its welcome. Sometimes like the in-laws when they come. And so NLP it talks about what are things that are successful, and it models success. So it models if somebody's really good at making phone calls, you can find out how they go about making phone calls. The actual dialing and stuff is secondary to what are they thinking as they go to the process. And that's where NLP is really good, because it boils it down to what are they thinking, and that's the key.
And it's all in our mindset.
It is, right.
So now being alongside John Maxwell, and when I think of him, I think of just the term success.
Right.
So how is that enhancing what you do?
Just what you said. I mean, so when you think of John Maxwell, you think of success. I mean, he's the foremost authority on leadership. West Point uses him for leadership. Everywhere you go, leadership, right? He's written over 70 books. He's very prolific. And he has a very simple filing system that he does that I stole from him now that I'm starting, although I started 20 years later.
Now you have permission because you're alongside with him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's great. I have all kinds of information from John Maxwell. I have access to him and to his coaches. And it's a blessing for me personally, but also then a blessing for the clients.
Well, and you can have access to Jack Kleemeyer as well at gybcoaching.com. And you even have a webinar coming up if you want to tell everyone, right?
I do,
so
yeah.
it's Wednesday.
It's next Wednesday, a week from today. It's Wednesday, September the 30th, and at 10 a.m. Eastern. And that is, what is your personal development plan? John Maxwell was asked that question. He was 24 years old. He didn't have one. And I found out by asking people, many folks don't have a personal development plan. So we're going to cover that in this webinar, and you can email Hannah. It's on the screen, I think, at my office, and she'll get you the information on more about that.
Well, thank you so much, Jack, for joining us today on Business Ambassadors. We'll be right back.
When Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage: Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Everyone knows it's easy to find first-run movies in the big theaters. But where can you go to watch your favorite classic movies on the big screen for the perfect night out? Why rent a flick when you can rent the entire theater? Call today to reserve our 32-seat theater for your next event, or just stop by to see what's showing this weekend. The 14 by 7 foot screen and the high quality digital surround sound system offers all the amenities you would expect from the big theaters, with a laid back atmosphere and comfortable seating of your own home. Wofford Theater at 1744 South 10th Street in Noblesville gives you the classic movies you want with a big theater experience.
Hey, thanks for coming back and sticking with us. Just want to tell you a little bit about this program because it's a little bit different from Hamilton County Magazine, which is what it evolved from. Yes. You recall last season.
Your magazine,
well,
and a fabulous magazine it is.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Sharon McMahon and I did the Hamilton County Magazine here on Hamilton County TV for about a year.
Right.
And now we've evolved this into kind of a new concept, and I think it's kind of a cool idea.
It is.
And so let me tell you a little bit about it. We are going to have, Cheryl is one, and I are two, actually, of 6 co-hosts that we're going to have over the course of a month. We're going to rotate in, so it's not always going to be the same 2 people. And we'll mix it up, and it won't always be the same 2 people with each other as well. And the idea here is to try to bring in some, new blood and possibly some new guests and so forth. And so the 6 that we've got, Kurt Osweiler, who has been a co-host for the past year or so, and then Mary Noble from the Chamber, from the Noblesville Chamber. We'll then also have Jack Kleemeyer, who was just Cheryl's guest here today, and then Derek Stinson from Mariana Bank. And we're going to kind of mix it up a little bit, and we'll see how it goes. So we hope you'll tune in every Monday at 11, and then, of course, on demand as well. So I'm really glad that you're taking part. You were one of my guests in last year. And,
months ago. And I loved it. I thought this was such a great format. Been even talking to Jim about maybe branching out and doing a show as well. But in the meantime, when you approached me with this, I was like, well, this is perfect. I need to get back in the swing of things. And it fits in well, too, with I do live events every month. Yeah. But it's wonderful to be able to have this platform of TV, because I come from TV news, actually. I've been a TV news reporter in 3 different markets. But so at the events, and I have one coming up October 1st, if you're able to make it, They are called Successful Women Made Here. I have Trisha Shepard, and it's funny that we're talking about TV and all. It's because you may recognize her name. She used to be the Channel 6 anchor about a year ago, and now she works for the Riley's Children's Foundation in their communications department, and she's written a book recently. So I usually like to spotlight various business women about what we can learn from them, what we can gain, how we can get to our goals, and by that much quicker. So they're usually the first Thursday of the month. The next one is October 1st at 9 a.m., 9 to 11. If you're able to attend, you just go on to successfulwomenmadehere.com, and you can RSVP from there.
Good. Well, good luck with that. Yeah, so you've been doing those every month.
Every month, yeah. We've had amazing women like
Yeah.
Pippa Mann, the race car driver, Sarah Fisher as well, who's now a team owner, Linda Clemens, who works, she's a body language expert and worked with the FBI and the White House.
Wow.
Just an assortment of women and what they do, and just finding out like how they do that, how did they get to where they are, to empower other women too, to get that voice out of their head,
Right.
like that Jack was talking about earlier, of the naysayers, or even your own thoughts of thinking, oh, I'm not smart enough, or I don't have the money or the time to do this. Well, there are women who can prove you can do it and it can be done.
Yeah. That's great. And, you'll notice the business theme here. We are going to try and focus this on business a little bit, hence it's called Business Ambassadors. I, of course, own the Hamilton County Business Magazine, which I'm giving myself a little plug here. The next edition comes out at the end of this week. It'll be the October-November edition. We're featuring the Unseen Press, and it's called Hamilton County Ghost Tours, I believe is what it's called. It's Nicole and Michael Kobrowski. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're out of Westfield.
What do they do?
They actually they give ghost tours, and not only in Hamilton County. They also have tours down in Indianapolis. But they've done a lot of research, and they've published books.
Right.
And their press is called theunseenpress.com.
That sounds fun and appropriate timing, right?
It is, and that's why we thought we'd do it around the Halloween time. But and it's incredibly popular. They get large groups of people, 30 and 40 people, walking around. They do a lot of research in cemeteries and so forth.
Sure.
And so,
well, that's a popular topic and all. But and
It
your
is.
magazine is so informative, and that topic reminds me. I don't know if you've been to St. Augustine in Florida.
No.
But they have ghost tours, and it's incredibly popular. I mean, they do it any time of year. It's so popular. Yeah.
And they talk a lot about buildings, and of course, Westfield. They're out of Westfield.
Yeah.
Has a very.
That's where I live.
Is it?
Yes.
All right. Well, they actually give tours around downtown Westfield, and Westfield has the whole history of the Underground Railroad and so forth. There's a lot of stories that are associated with that. Yeah. So they tell those kinds of stories. But we've got that along with. I've got a story in there that I did. I took a. It wasn't really a course, it was a seminar, a week-long seminar this past summer on placemaking, which I find fascinating, which is all about how, they say now that millennials specifically, but really everybody these days, kind of finds a place to live first and then finds a job. I mean, that's what all the politicians are saying these days, Millennials are flocking to places that are nice places to live. Well,
that's smart.
The way to attract them then is to build the kind of places where they want to live. So that means, and there are certain procedures that you go through and certain principles that you use to build pleasant places. So it's all about that. And there's a science behind it. And I went through a seminar on it, so I reported on that. So there's that, along with all kinds of great information in the Hamilton County Business Magazine, which mails this Friday. It goes to all the Chamber of Commerce members of all the chambers in the county. But it's also available at visitor centers. I've got racks in downtown Noblesville. And so forth. And at all the chambers, you can pick it up as well. So be sure to pick up a copy.
Good. So exciting things, too, we have going on this week. Notice we're both dressed in blue.
How about that?
Yeah. Colts game.
That's right.
Playing against Colts. New York. I'm a little perplexed, though, because I'd lived in New York for 13 years, but originally a Hoosier, so I know. It's like, although I can't lose. I guess I'll look at it that way.
There you go.
Won't lose either way. But
there you go.
Yeah, live on TV tonight on Channel 6, or you can find it on ESPN as well. Also, the Civic Theater, this is ending soon, September 25th. So if you haven't gotten to their 100 years of Civic Theater exhibit, it ends later this week. So you may want to go check that out. Wow. Also, at the Buke Tarkington Civic Theater, they're having Little Women. It's a musical.
Really?
Did not know that it was even a musical. So that goes on till the 26th of this month of September. And then kind of Prairie, got all the fun
The Apple
festivities
Store.
really coming up. The Apple Store,
Sure.
they're going to have the Headless Horseman, all those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Got that
kind of
going on.
stuff.
And actually, in community theater, I know there's a production going on out at Westfield Playhouse, and the Belfry's got a production going on now as well. I think it's called The Butler Did It. So,
Well,
plenty
and
of things to do.
And my daughter's in her first musical. Yeah, they're doing Legally Blonde. I don't know if you ever saw the movie, if that was in your
remember it.
wheelhouse
I've never
at all.
seen it, but I do remember
Legally
it.
Blonde is a musical too, and they're doing Legally Blonde Junior with the CYT, and that's going to be at Marion University at the end of October. So it goes like October 29th to November 1st.
Great. Lots to do. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back again next week with 2 other co-hosts, but be sure to join us every week here on Business Ambassadors. Thanks for being with us today.
Bye. Thanks.